And good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing this evening? And I see that Ozark Great Adventures is in the house for tonight. Oh, excuse me. And Rob on the road. How you guys doing today? Like I said, I'm going to do split videos. This one's going to be my first hour. Then my second hour, I'm going to go ahead and restart a broadcast for the normal evening chat. So with tonight, as you guys can see, the title is Your First Airgun. Sorry there. These are for people who are kind of interested, don't know where to start. So I figured I'd give them a little heads up, what to expect. What else? Where to go, where not to go. I can't tell you where not to go, but you can go there, take a look. Like I said, in some places you never ever go to get an air gun because you don't know what you're going to get, and I'll explain all of that here in just a few minutes. So, hi Grace, how you doing? Hello Jarrett, how you doing? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start out with where not to get an air gun. Do not go to Craigslist. Do not go to eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Don't go to any of those. You don't know if you're going to get one that's busted, anything wrong with it, how old it is. So I suggest going to a reputable shop. Excuse me. Such as like a Airgun Depot, Pyramid Air, and there's a lot of little local shops all over the U.S. When you go to the local shops all over the U.S., you are going to get higher prices. However, it's going to be a better quality of air gun. Places like Walmart are extremely low quality. Those are just built for the masses. We're going to go over the different types of air guns that there are. Yeah, the Daisy 880, Jared. Yes, you know what? Those are perfect for the little young beginners. Okay, like I say hi to everybody in the chat, so you guys can also talk amongst yourselves as well. Let's see. So we're going to start out with the less expensive ones. I want to try and keep them in the budget area of about $200 if at all possible. That is just for the air gun itself. Then there's also the accessories, ammunition for it. Those might be another episode, depending on how much time that we have. Let me get some air on me because I'm getting a little bit warm here. Because it got warm today. So we're going to start out with the. Let's start out with the air pumpers. Okay, the what we call pumpers is basically you pump it up by hand on the rifle itself, like the Daisy 880, the Seneca Dragonfly Mark II, like some of the old Benjamin Sheridans, if you can find them. Those ones you might want to buy used, but like I said, buy used from a shop because you don't know. Somebody's going to sell you one. They're not going to tell you there's something wrong with it. You overpaid for a broken one. Now you have to go and get it repaired, which can get kind of pricey. Yeah, then it costs more than what the item cost. Alrighty, so like I said, you got to keep your eyes open on that, folks. Okay, so we're gonna start out. Like I said, the Daisy, the Seneca, and the Sheritans, some of the others. It should be. I'm gonna go over here to share a screen, so you guys can get a visual of what they are. So I'm gonna go to the website that I use and I purchase from. All right, wait for my screen to catch up here. This is going to be Pyramid Adventures and Recreation. I hope that you guys can see that. Let me check here. Oh, I need to put it in the screen, which would help. That one is not budget friendly right now, so as you can see, there's a lot of choices in here. This is a big website. Like I said, you might want to explore this website first before you make any considerations. There are filters on here which you can use to look for what you're looking for. There is a limit to where you can actually get up to, and then you get free shipping. I believe that is $175. So $175. So we're just going to go over the first page, and then I'm going to go down to the drop-down windows. So you get your pellet guns, BB guns, ammo, pistols, rifles. They also do archery on here, crossbows, regular powder burner ammunition. They do a lot, and I do mean a lot. So we can go to air guns here. You slide down here to get your pump rifles, CO2, which is fun. However, I would not suggest that one for periodic pest control because you got to have it ready. Let's see. So we're going to start with the pump rifles. We'll click onto that. Okay, it gives you a description of the pumper air rifles. So again, here is your Umrex NXG Apex combo. So this is basically a pumper. This one is actually quite decent, believe it or not. Okay, then you got, like I said, the Mark II is coming out soon, which you'll be able to put an optic on. So you might want to hold off on that one if that's the one you're kind of looking for, like the old Western type. It is 177 only. You got the Seneca Dragonfly Mark II, but I was saying earlier, a little bit more in price, better built. This is also a repeater. This is a 10 pump. This is a 15 pump, so you can actually put some power out with that one. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about the Crossmans right now because they are no longer made in America. They are made overseas. A different company bought them and moved all of the quality out of the U.S. to overseas. So I don't know how well that's going to work. You have the Powerline 901, which is Daisy. You got all kinds of stuff to work here. They got kits. Some of them come with pellets. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Crossman was a good company. I'm not sure about it now due to the last changes in the past 6 months. I've heard bad things and I've heard good things. I don't know. I haven't gotten any of them since they changed hands. Okay, say you wanted to go ahead and get, let's see. I'm going to show you how to go in, and you can actually look at the actual schematic or the performance of them as what the manufacturer is claiming. Okay, so we're starting out with a little budget-friendly one here for $70, the good old Daisy. So you click onto Daisy, and that brings it up. You can actually look a little bit closer at it. This is BB's, and I believe this one is a smooth bore. So if you can find one that's rifled, like the Barra 1886 is rifled, because I have one. And that thing does put out some power. Okay, there's your caliber, 177, max velocity, 750 feet per second. That's how fast projectiles flying, and they usually test it with an alloy pellet to get to those speeds. Okay, we'll go over pellets and speed here maybe later on in this episode, or that might be another video. Okay, suggestions is for plinking and fun. Basically, tin can shooting. You can shoot mice with this one here, but you got to be close. Okay, multi-pump pneumatic. Loudness, this is 3. So it's got a little bit of a bark to it, not a whole lot. I mean, the neighbor next to you will hear it. And this is, they'll test it for you for $10. You get the 1-year service contract, 2-year service contract. That's basically the warranty. Here's the BBs, the pellets. A little warning is if you do have a rifled 177, do not shoot the steel BBs out of it because it will ruin the rifling in the barrel. and it will not be as accurate later on. So it basically is just going to be a tin can shooter, is basically what we call it. So we can back that up to here. Okay, and say you want to spend a little bit more money. Let's go to the Craftsman here for $129. Okay, so this one's gonna be open sights. You won't really be able to put an optic on there because the top of it here is not set up for a optics. There are aftermarket parts that you can get to change this, but if you're not familiar with air guns and how to change parts, I would not recommend doing that until you get comfortable. You can pick up one at a yard sale, and you can tinker it with that one. You can take it apart, see how it works for just a couple of dollars. All right, this one here is 22 caliber, which is I recommend more for small game hunting and plinking. Trigger time in the backyard, put a smile on your face. I said this one's a maximum of 850 feet per second, is where pellets kind of like to be due to the aerodynamics. Muzzle energy, now you're getting up to 13.1 foot-pounds per energy. You only need 4 for a squirrel at impact, usually to put them down for a headshot. I know it sounds a little bit morbid, but in pest control, that's what you're aiming to do. If you got the little critters in your garden, I would try harassing them away first, and then if they become a problem and they start, causing damage, then that's when you kind of go after them. Okay, it's a single shot, bolt action. See, scopable, it says right there, no. It gives you the front sights, rear sights. Safety is on manual. There's a single stage trigger. Trigger pull is 5.5 pounds, which is starting to get up there in weight. Barrel length is 21. So basically it gives you all the rundown. Okay, and you come over here, you can read the descriptions of everything that you see here. I'm helping you guys kind of navigate the system here because it can be overwhelming by everything that you see. Alrighty, and let's get rid of the bot here. Okay, cocking effort, first pump, 18 pumps, third pump, 26 pounds of force, fifth pump, 30 pounds of force, eighth pump, 31 pounds of force. So it gets harder as you pump it because you're compressing that air. You're taking a bit of air and you're compressing it into one tiny little chamber in there. So when you pull the trigger, lets the spring go, the sear lets the spring go. The spring hits the hammer. It's a slide hammer, which forces it forward into a valve and opens up the valve, releasing all the air out at once. And there are other videos out there which do show this, but you got to find them. Like I said, and if you wanted to go a little bit more, this is one I would kind of suggest as a if you want to do pest control in the backyard, please check your local laws if this will be allowed if you're within a municipality or certain states. Okay. This one here, you can put a muzzle brake on there, and you actually can put a moderator on there, which will actually help silence the air rifle. They come in 2 different calibers, 177-22. Let me check the. Okay, let's make sure there's no questions yet. So if you have any questions, folks, go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll answer them as best I can. So this one here is giving you the description of the 177. That little pellet is moving. Like I said, that's using an alloy pellet. Now, if you go from an alloy to a lead pellet, which is a little bit larger in weight, it will slow the pellet down. However, it'll have a better knockdown. It'll carry that energy further out. Let's go to 22 caliber, and you will see that there is a large difference. So just, I mean, all of a sudden now it jumps up to 16.9 just by changing the caliber. And multi-pump, it's a repeater. So basically you can recock it, repump it up, and then take another shot. You're not fumbling, trying to put a pellet into the chamber and then closing the bolt. Knock some of that time down for a follow-up. Trigger pull is 3 pounds, which is a lot lighter than the other one they were looking at that Craftsman. Cocking effort is 3 to 15. I mean, they got all kinds of, a lot more upgrades, or a lot more features than the Craftsman. So that is the Dragonfly Mark II. And you can see the little black line right there. That's where the lever is for cocking. And of course, you got your pumps here, so you can actually control the speed that you're looking for certain pellets. As you can see, the Craftsman Premier at five pumps is doing 541 feet per second. Excuse me, 14 grains. Sorry, for 9.3 foot-pounds of energy, which will pass through a squirrel, which will totally devastate a mouse. Okay, like I said, if you go to 15 pumps, now you're, look at that, 541 to 684. So you jumped up quite a bit in foot-pounds, almost 4.5 foot-pounds of energy. So then you got the, like I said, if you see here, the 21 grain for the H&M Barracuda match. I mean, look at the difference there between those two there. That's because the weight of the pellet is heavier. So when it says, does 1,300 feet per second, that's with an alloy pellet, go to a heavier pellet, and then that's what you can, you'll have your best control. And that is going to be for the pumpers there. Okay, you get the JSB Exact Diablos, or the JSB Exact Jumbos. Okay, like I said, right there it's 10 foot-pounds of energy with this one here. Then it goes up to 13, 15, 16. So you're almost getting the same there when it's at full power between the 21 grain and the 18 grain. Now these are going to be top of the line pellets, folks. Okay, you're going to be paying a little bit more for these. The Craftsman Premiers are decent, they really are, but they only come out with one weight. So I hope I'm not overloading a lot of folks here with too much information. You can always go back and rewatch the videos. And let's back up to here. Like I said, I do have this one here. This one's a lot of fun. And I actually shoot a 10.5 grain pellet out of this one here. As soon as I click onto it. Let me in. There we go. Like I said, the price is going up on this one here. They said pretty soon they're going to be changing the receiver here to allow a scope. And they've also changed the other side right here. They've actually put a little ramp in here so you can load a pellet a lot easier. It is a little bit difficult to put a pellet in here as of the current model that's out there now. And again, 800 feet per second. 5.5 pounds. Okay, it's not given the foot-pounds of energy that I see, but yeah, it does pack a wallop. So, especially with the heavier grades. So this one is not a bad buy. This one does bark, and there's no moderator to attach to it. Okay. So Get over here. There we go. See, it's just the end of a barrel. It's just like the old Western rifles. And, oh, they're out of stock. Imagine that. Check back for updates. So they don't know when they're going to get any more in. Bear is a pretty good company. They're brand new to the market past 5 years for producing air guns. And let's see. We can hear you, honey.
What?
So that we can hear you. And let's see, any questions? Oh yeah, there's such a deal. I mean, there's amazing. Oh, let's go back here. Let's go back to our pumpers. Air guns, pump rifles. And this is not all of them, folks. There's a lot more out there than just these. You just make sure you read the box, read the description, and make sure it's going to fit what you are wanting to do. Okay? A lot of them won't say if they're going to be a smooth bore or a rifled bore or even a choked barrel. That's something you're going to probably have to ask around. I'm not going to know all of them. But most air guns are going to be a choked barrel. That means that the last few inches of the muzzle is going to shrink down just a little bit to create a better seal to pop that projectile out of there. Okay. And over here, you also have a filter which you can go through. Okay, you can filter by brand, you can filter by caliber, you can filter by price. I mean, it's a very easy website to navigate. It helps a lot. Okay. So I would suggest pumpers if you're going to be doing a little bit of pest control, if you want to do backyard plinking for a younger individual, for like a teen or a younger teen that you want to get them their first pellet slinger and learn safety without being too dangerous, but just to learn the fundamentals of safety. And please keep them supervised. And let's go over here to air guns. Let's go to spring piston rifles is next. Okay. Spring piston and gas nitro piston are going to be about the same. So they work under the same principle as almost instantly compressing the air chamber to push the pellet out the barrel. Just one's going to have a big giant shock in it. The other one's just going to be a spring. Springers are a little bit more noisier than the gas pistons. When you are the shooter, you're going to hear it in your cheekbone when you pull the trigger. Now, when you're not, if you're standing next to them, it will not be that loud. What's going to be loud is going to be that pop of air coming out of there, and that's what you're basically going to hear. It's like popping a balloon. Okay. Now, when you get into like the German stuff, like the Weihrau, that is going to be, German engineering. You're going to be passing that down a couple of generations. Okay. This one here is just going to be like a Daisy Red Rider. It's going to be a Springer. You get the Beeman R9, which is going to be there's a Beeman company, but there's two sides of that Beeman company. There's the German-made side, then you got the Chinese-made side. So that's why some of them are going to be higher in price, and some of them will be a lot less. These are a little bit more difficult to master when shooting because it has a violent spring. It springs forward and then back, which will tear scopes up. So make sure if you get a Springer or a piston, make sure you get a scope that is rated for these. These things will wreck $5,000 scopes. Okay, there's the Diana Magnum, which is going to be an underlever. So let's go ahead and go to this. Let's do the hot sun air tack for $99. Okay, and basically you're going to be breeching. When you pull this down here, this does have a brake on it, so it lifts up right up in this area right here. It'll lift up, you'll load the pellet, then you'll put the barrel back in. There's a arm in here that compresses a spring inside of here. When you pull the trigger, the spring is released and it actually hits the end of the chamber. So it causes the air gun to move forward, and then it bounces and it comes back. So it shifts that scope back and forth, or forward and then back. And you can see it's just one little barrel. Now, sometimes these springs or these little screws here will come undone. You need to keep an eye on them to make sure it closes correctly, opens correctly. It doesn't do any weird left to right. Make sure you close it all the way to make a seal. These are, inexpensive. Again, it takes a while to master these to shoot. You got to use an artillery hold, which I'll probably have to do. Hey, Colin. Well, you can watch too. So you want to do the artillery hold. These things are extremely hold sensitive. So you want to keep your grip the same, shoulder the same, and your forearm palm open, and have it sit on your hand. Open palm, and let it sit, and let it do its thing when you pull the trigger. Now these are available in 177, 22, and 25. Okay, there are 20 calibers out there. They are not particularly common here in the U.S. It's more of a around the world thing, but not here in the U.S. There are some here. Again, you got the schematics here. Let's go to 22 because that's going to be, I would recommend a 22 because you got more choices of different types of pellets and ammunition. As you can see, max velocity is going to be 1,000 feet per second. I would definitely go down or go up to at least an 18 grain pellet with this to slow it down for stability. Again, small game, hunting, plinking. This is going to be spring powered, so it's going to be a little bit loud on your cheekbone when you pull the trigger. Okay, brake barrel shrouded. This must be shrouded, yes, so that'll help pull that loudness down. Because remember, you're going 1,000 feet per second, which is almost the speed of sound, so you're going to get that crack of the sound barrier. It gives you your overall length, barrel length, your grip. What does it say? The word doesn't give about the trigger weight on this one. Haha. But again, here, 21 foot-pounds of energy. Typically, that's going to be with an alloy pellet traveling 1,000 feet per second. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and head over to that Diana. And I'll show you the difference. And I would actually recommend something more of like this for a beginner. If you can find one at a lower price, a decent one, not the Chinese B3. That one there is just strictly for plinking. Again, out of stock. Okay, we got 22. But we're not going to, well, let's go to 22 here. Look at the schematics, 900 feet per second, which is actually better, more controllable. So the pellet doesn't spin, drift, tumble, keyhole in the targets. If you get a keyhole in the target, you're traveling way too fast. Go to a heavier pellet, slow it down. So these are going to be, like I said, these are going to be for folks, I'm showing them around what to look for and what you're going to be using for. So this one here would be perfect for actually hunting rabbits. Which one is this one here is at, it's not giving me foot-pounds of energy. So 900 feet, that's going to be, let's see, 750 and 18 grains. So we're probably looking around about 15 foot-pounds of energy. Again, like I said, as you can see here, you're going to unhook that right there. There's a little lever here. You pull this lever down, arm comes out and pushes that piston backwards. Okay, then on the other side, right there. That trap door opens, and you're actually going to have to put a pellet in the barrel. You're going to have to shove it in the barrel with your thumb or your finger. Okay, and then to close this here, there's an anti-bear trap release here. So your fingers don't get caught inside what we call the bear trap. It's like getting a grand thumb, all right? It will slam shut and it will hurt. So yeah, when you pull this down, keep a handle on this while it is open. Put your pellet in, then hit the anti-bear trap release, and then close the barrel or the breech. I don't have one of these, but they are sweet. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go back here, see if there's any more here that you can look at. Some of them you can get as a kit. A lot of these brake barrels you can get at Walmart. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of going to Walmart. Like I said, some of these things can get expensive. Air arms, every one is hand assembled by only very few people at that factory. You got your DZ Red Ryder, not recommended for pest control. That one is just for having fun. Maybe you can shoot some wasps with it, some insects. But yeah, I generally would not use that for shooting mice or rats. Not recommended. It's not what it was designed for. It was designed for younger individuals to learn safety. Like I said, a lot of these brake barrels are kind of on the pricey side. What you do is you go over here to your filter, and you go 0 to 250. There's only 2 of them. So the air Aventi competition, wow, that's not bad. This is going to be in 177 though. Like I said, they got all kinds of kits. Alrighty, let's go with like I said, either the pumpers or the spring pistons. I would recommend for a first air gun to learn from, to see if you're going to enjoy the sport. It's something you're going to have around for some pest control for rats and mice and squirrels. And when you first get them, you want to go ahead and get a gun cleaning kit, a special one that's designed for air guns. Do not use brushes in them. You will ruin the rifling in there because they're not heat treated like a powder burner. So you're going to use patches, pull through, clean the barrels when you first get them because they're going to be full of grease for shipping and storage. Okay. So hi, Obstacle, how you doing? And Jarrett and Colin. Yeah, so any other questions before we go on to like fun stuff? So we're going to go into the fun stuff now. This is basically for practice, basically putting a smile on your face, have fun, shooting tin cans and targets. Okay, let's go to CO2. Okay, we're going to go to CO2 BBs. These are the ones for, again, learning safety. Basically range time, trigger control, muscle memory. So these ones are just strictly for fun. So we can go here to prices here. Not a whole lot there. So that fun factor better be really worth it if you go to a little bit higher. But this is going to be basically for fun here. A lot of these are going to be from the Legends. This one is fun. You guys will like this one. And Molly's over there coughing. Okay. Let's see. This is going to be $114.99. This is basically you line up the cans and you just have fun. Okay, 10 left in stock. By the way, you can earn bullseye bucks when you buy from this site here. They can add up. Okay, like I said, this is going to be BBs. Their best velocity is 400, 415, 385 feet per second. Any faster than that, the BBs will actually stray off course because they're moving too fast. And they get unstable. So it's basically, this is just, go out and have fun in the backyard. And also, please check your local laws to see if you can do that. Okay, and let's go to, we'll get rid of those. Like I said, a lot of them are going to be like legends. Let's be like underneath the legends. Umrex puts out quite a few of them. Like this one here, the good old grease gun from World War II. And it holds 60 BBs and it holds 2 cartridges of CO2. Again, another CO2 BB air rifle. I believe that one's the one that you use cartridges. Like this one here. Okay, here's this one here. So the cowboy lever action here. That is just for fun. Okay, put it on the shelf, look nice, go out and have fun on the weekend. Get a couple of guys together, and you guys can go out and have a lot of fun. Now, a lot of the major metropolitan areas, a lot of the states, and some smaller municipalities, if you look around at the gun range, you can actually find a club, an air gun club. So you really gotta dig deep to find those guys. They're all over the U.S. So my closest one is a 4-hour drive over in Louisiana. This is the closest one I've been able to find for me. But again, you can do authentic. Kick out the shells. You load them with the BBs up in the front. You can watch a lot of these videos on which ones you guys choose. Like I said, take your time choosing. Do your homework. There's all kinds of stuff in here. You can also learn with the airsoft. Airsoft has a lot of replicas, both modern and older. The same thing with the BBs. They got a lot of them that are modern and also reproductions of the older stuff that are quite fun, especially with the pistols. So, let me check something here. Okay, like I said, you got the fun factor, and the fun factor is also going to be plinking in the backyard. So there's all kinds of stuff. Any other questions from anybody? I'm checking here now, because I can't see it because I'm on the website, so I have to look over here to the thing. Oh, yes, obstacle, yes. I mean, that's a good way to get outside, get exercise, get moving around, is airsoft. Yes, the guys get together and you go out and form up teams and actually have fun. This website has got all kinds of airsoft as well. See, then you got the CO2 pellet. Like I said, if you they got the kit here. This is the chaser kit, which you can do either a pistol or you can use it as a rifle. It comes with one long barrel, one short barrel, the pistol part of it, and then the stock you can add on to it. And for $142, it's actually a decent price. There's the Beeman 1085, which is actually a repeater, which looks very similar to the QB78S. Of course, you got your Barra 1866 CO2 pellet. Also has the cartridges there for CO2 and also kicking out the cartridges, I believe. Some of them will have little game targets. And yes, that is a Sig Sauer. It is Sig Sauer makes these. And it's a replica of what they actually make. Okay, here's the Beeman QB78S. I have one of these. These things are in 177. Absolute blast. Awesome for, a night of mouse hunting. If you got multiple mice. Perfect. I also have the Deluxe 2. That one's in 22. And that one has taken squirrels and rabbits. Of course, mine's been also upgraded. Different episode. Okay, I'm at 42 now. Let's see. I'm just giving you, these are just going to be suggestions for you guys to go ahead and, search the website. Now, when you get into the PCP rifles, that's when the costs are going to start going up, because you also need the infrastructure for these as well. Like I said, the FX, these are going to be the top of the line here, guys, right here. These two here are going to be the FXs. The Hot Suns are generally lower in price. Beeman is down lower. This is hand pump friendly, so you can use a hand pump to actually pump these things up. Same thing with the Dianas. Let's drop that price to 20 or between 100 and 250. So I'm gonna consider that's going to be the budget for your PCPs to start. Let me get some coffee here. This one here is not CO2. This is actually nitrogen powered. So you get your container there, and it has just as much power as a pre-charged pneumatic. Cartridges are going to be about $20 each, or no, $20 for two of them, I believe, because you buy them in 2 packs. But you're going to get a lot more shots out of them, and you get higher power. The QB Chief Plus, that one's actually halfway decent. That's you can pump that up. That'll work with the hand pump. I don't know about the 6 hours. I have not used those yet, or haven't gotten any. The Gamma Arrow, I heard, is decent. The Hot Sun AT-44 open sights. This one's actually quite decent. Most of these are going to be hand pumpable. All right. So it looks like a bicycle pump. Okay, the Beeman under lever. So there's a lever here that actually cocks it. This is a bullpup. Okay, the flash is halfway decent. Most of these are going to be going anywhere between 10 to 35, 40 yards, depending on how well your tune is. Like I said, here's that Diana Storm Rider. It's going to be a multi-shot. Okay, you don't have to pump it up in between each round that you shoot. This actually has a reservoir, hence pre-charged pneumatic. These you can pump up to about 3,000 psi of air. And I don't know if this one's regulated or not. I don't think it is. But it just lets a little squirt of air, just enough to propel a pellet downrange, quickly rack another round in and shoot until the air drops below a certain point, in which you do have to refill. Most of these you will get 2 to 3 magazines, so like 33 shots before you have to refill on most of them. That one does come with a moderator. This is a 177. Again, that's with an alloy pellet at 1050 feet per second, 20 foot-pounds of energy, which is actually really good for, no, that's a pre-charged pneumatic. Loudness is 2 on this one because it does have a moderator on there. Shots per fill, this one's going to have 40. Your air cylinder size is going to be 100 cc's, bolt action. The sights are going to be fixed power. Shrouded, yes. Front blades, for the sights. Overall length, barrel length. Capacity is going to be 9 rounds. Okay, operating pressure is going to be 200 bar. So 2,900 psi. So like I said, 3,000 psi. Alrighty, let's see. I am at 47 minutes and I said that one would be if you want to get into the pre-charged pneumatic. This is probably one I would suggest. If you want to get into the pumpers, I would suggest the the Seneca Dragonfly Mark II, because that one can be ready at any time in just a few pumps. That will give you enough power. So there's several pages here which you can look at here. I said you can do seller here. And this is going to be your filter, so you can actually filter out what you want to see. You just click on what you want to see, and it sends you that direction. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here on Pyramid Air. Okay, let me get over here. I'm going to actually exit the site now so I can talk to you guys for the last couple of minutes. Alrighty. Let me get caught up here in the chat. Oh, yeah, Obstacle. Yeah, they are. Those are actually pretty decent. Those red dot sights. I like the scopes. I can fine tune it a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I might do scopes on the next one. I'm just seeing how this live is going to do for a 1 hour. I figured nobody's going to watch it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So I figured 1 hour. That's what I'm going to have it set for. So any questions, or did I go over enough for you guys not to be overloaded with information on what to choose and how to find it? My main objective was, how do you choose and where do I go to choose to help choose what kind of air rifle I am looking for. So basically, it's going to be, do you want something for garden pest control? Do you want something for small game hunting? Do you want something that's going to be completely just, put a smile on your face and make you giggle like a little girl again? Or just, trigger time in the backyard and learning safety, control, especially for our younger generation, that would like to get into something. Like I said, they have competitions. Pyramid Air does have a competition in September up in Ohio. The purse isn't as big as the one in Utah from Utah Airguns, but there's another big one in Arizona. There's supposed to be, hopefully, another one coming up again. They didn't do it this year in Florida. I guess they didn't get enough people wanting to go, so they didn't do it this year. But yeah, keep your eyes open. These things are also opening up all over the world too. Airguns of Arizona have been doing theirs, going on 16 years, and that's a pretty nice purse too. Like I said, if you want to learn pest control with air guns, just type that up into your search bar, and it'll take you to, like I said, probably the first one's probably going to come up is going to be Ted. There's going to be Ted's Holdover. You have Squirrel Hunter's channel. You have Matt from Africa, which is going to be air arms hunting. SA hunting, South Africa hunting. He does all kinds of cool stuff. He's got a couple channels out. One for going on trips, and one for is air guns. And he does also have centerfire too. Like I said, and he tells you about some of the local laws there. Giles is another person, which is going to be. He doesn't do a whole lot of videos anymore. You can go back and watch his old stuff as the Airgun Gear Show. There's quite a few people out there, and those are just some of the few that I've met, just by going to the competitions. The largest I've done is 45 caliber. Like I said, when you start getting into the big bores, which I'm considering as going to be 30 cal and higher, the ammunition choices for those just drop off dramatically. There's only like several, anywhere between 7 to 15 choices. Now, with the With the 22, you have a couple hundred choices of different types of ammunition that you can go through and learn. Yeah, like I said, right now, no, that's actually small for air guns, by the way. That's about the medium. We have stuff that's up to 72 caliber now, which is going to be the Zeus. And that thing is a beast. Imagine a 72 caliber, and that's a 12 gauge shotgun slug, basically. That it's pushing through the air, and it does it efficiently too. But like again, that's when you're getting up to, not budget friendly. I wanted to try and keep this one kind of budget friendly, something that you don't want to spend a whole lot of money getting into it and finding out, oh, this is not what I like. However, I don't want anybody to get disappointed by going to Walmart, buying a break barrel. Oh, that's an air gun, and they had no clue what was out there. So that's why I chose Pyramid Air for the site I wanted to look at, because that's the site that I use. I've had no issues with them. I know some people have. I've heard about it. But usually that's because of the shipper did something wrong in the shipping. Okay, not from the sender. Something went wrong in between point A and point B. That's a whole nother mess. I don't want to get into it right now, but that's something you got to watch out for. As soon as if you order something from Pyramid Air and you get the box, do a quick little video opening up the box, make sure everything is intact like it's supposed to be. That's what I suggest when you order anything, from a store that you actually need or you want it or you paid a lot of money for. Sorry, the cat's asking for food. Let's see. I'm running up on 54 minutes. So any other questions before I end this live and we go over to my goof off hour? So yeah, so like I said, always check your local laws and regulations. I can't emphasize that enough. Especially if you're inside of a municipality, because some of them you can't even discharge an air rifle. You can't even discharge an airsoft gun at all. So, like I said, that's why you need to check your local laws. There are ways to get around it, but I'm gonna let you do your own research on how to do that. Alrighty, because I don't want to be spreading, rumors out there. In one case, I did figure out how to get around it for a municipality to let me shoot in my backyard safely. Alrighty, folks. With that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end the live now. So say goodbye to everybody that's in the chat. See everybody on the next video. And don't forget to get out there and slap a rat. And always remember, please be safe out there.